If you're buying a home with a private well, did you know that your loan might require water testing before you can close? FHA, VA, USDA, and Fannie Mae each have different requirements when it comes to testing for nitrate, chloroform, and other contaminants. And if you don't know the right process, it could delay or even derail your closing. So today I'm breaking down what each loan type requires, who collects the samples, and how long your test results are valid. Let's get into it. Water quality testing is required for homes with private wells to ensure the water is safe to drink. Lenders want to confirm that the well isn't contaminated with bacteria, nitrates, or other harmful substances, meets local EPA water quality standards, is a safe distance from potential hazards like septic tanks or chemical waste sites. So different loan programs have different rules about how water must be tested. So let's break it down by loan type. Each loan program follows a different set of guidelines when it comes to testing well water. Here's what you need to know. So Fannie Mae conventional loans follows local health authority guidelines with no specific federal requirements. The lender determines who collects the samples based on local standards. Water test results may be no older than 120 days at the time of closing. And the lender must certify that the test meets community standards, including distance from hazardous sites. FHA, or Federal Housing Administration loans, follow local health authority standards, and if none exists, defaults to EPA standards. Only an approved party, not the buyer, seller, or agent, can actually collect the sample, and water test results must be no older than 180 days at time of closing. Well must meet distant requirements from hazards and meet required flow rates. VA loans or Veteran Affairs loans must comply with local or state health authority codes. The testing agency must be approved by the local health authority, and interested parties cannot handle the samples. So water test results must be no older than 90 days at the time of closing, and the well's distance from the septic system must be measured. USDA loans, or United States Department of Agriculture loans, follow local health authority guidelines, and if none exist, defaults to EPA standards. So samples must be collected by a state certified lab or approved agency. Water test results must be no older than 150 days at the time of closing. And cisterns or ward storage systems are allowed if they meet health authority requirements. One of the biggest mistakes buyers and sellers make is assuming that just anyone can collect the water sample. That's not the case. Here's who is allowed to collect the sample under each loan program. So Fannie Mae, the lender decides who collects the sample, following local health standards. FHA must be collected by an approved party, a local health authority, commercial lab, or licensed engineer. Interested parties like the buyer or seller cannot collect the sample. VA, the agency conducting the test, must be the one to collect the sample. Interested parties are prohibited. And USDA must be tested by a state certified lab following local health authority standards. So pro tip, if you're purchasing a home with a private well, ask your lender early in the process who's responsible for collecting the sample so you don't run into any last minute delays. Water tests are only valid for a certain period of time. So if the closing process takes longer than expected, you may need to redo the test. Here's how long each program allows test results to remain valid. Fannie Mae, 120 days. FHA, 180 days. VA, 90 days. USDA, 150 days. So if your test results expire before closing, you'll need to retest the water, which can cause delays. Plan ahead. Aside from testing, there are a few other requirements you should know about. So Fannie Mae, the lender must certify that the water source meets local community standards, including proximity to hazardous sites. FHA, the well must meet minimum distance requirements from potential hazards and provide enough water flow to the home. VA, the well's distance from the septic system must be measured. USDA, cisterns or ward storage tanks are allowed as long as they meet health authority standards. So if you're buying a home with a well, always check with your lender to confirm specific requirements for your loan type. So if you're buying a home with a private well, here's what you should do next. Ask your lender what water testing requirements apply to your loan type, schedule the test with an approved lab or local health authority, confirm that the sample is collected by an authorized party, not the buyer, seller, or real estate agent, Make sure the test results are still valid at closing to avoid any last-minute delays. Need help navigating FHA, VA, USDA, or conventional loan requirements for homes with wells? Book a call with me today. I'll walk you through the process and make sure you don't run into any unexpected issues or delays. And if you found this video helpful, hit that subscribe button for more mortgage tips or home buying strategies. Click the link below, schedule a chat, and let's make sure your loan gets approved.